victim of yesterday's sword attack was John Romano.
Romano fired a shotgun at students and teachers inside Columbia High School back in 2004. Yesterday's attack left Romano in critical condition.
Sabrina Dami spoke to a woman who works at that facility where the attack took place. And Sabrina joins us now live here in the studio with this harrowing story. Sabrina.
Elaine, the woman actually helps run that shelter, and the attack took place in a homeless shelter on Sheridan Avenue. Right now, that shelter is closed, and a quick response cleaning team was still on the scene this afternoon. News Channel 13 has learned the victim of this attack is John Romano. Back in 2004, he was 16 years old when he opened fire inside Columbia High School in East Greenbush. Romano has worked at the shelter for the past 2 years now. He manages the clothing pantry there. This is the Community Connections shelter on Sheridan Avenue. Police say he was attacked by a guest at the shelter. The police report, which I obtained this afternoon, says the attacker was armed with a sword and a machete and caused deep cuts to Romano's wrists, left ankle, and right knee, nearly severing his limbs. The deputy director of the organization that runs the shelter says staff who witnessed this attack is talking to crisis counselors today.
What happened yesterday was really traumatic for everyone, and a lot of people, given where it took place and the nature of that center and how busy it is. Unfortunately, a lot of people who witnessed the attack. So our staff are pretty shaken, but they're a strong group. They're leaning on one another, and everyone's really just keeping John in our thoughts right now.
That this is kind of disturbing. So I was working at a homeless shelter, and it was lunchtime. And this one guy, he comes in and he goes up to the guy serving the food and he asks, "Hey, what's for lunch?" And the guy says, "Oh, it's written on the board." And the guy, he gets upset and, he says, "Oh, well, it's written in the book for you, white devil." And me and my coworkers, we hear this and we're like, "Yo, you can't be talking to people like that, man." And he just kind of tries to brush it off, saying he didn't say nothing wrong. And he goes and sits down. And after like a minute or two, he kind of starts getting animated, talking to himself. And he starts talking about white devils and everything. We're like, "Yo, like, chill out, bro. Like, you gotta just relax, eat your lunch." And, he starts talking to us kind of aggressively and everything. And, he's talking about white devils some more. We're like, "Yo, like, dude, you can't be talking like that in here." And he calls me a white devil. My coworkers, they're black, but he calls me a white devil, and I'm like, all right, like, I see where this is going. Like, so I go upstairs, I talk to my boss, basically saying like, this guy's got to go. My boss says, "Yeah, of course, he's gonna call the police just in case." And I go back downstairs and I tell the guy, I said, "I'm sorry, but you can finish up your lunch real quick, but you got to leave for the day." And I go, and the guy's like, "All right, let me just go and get my property, because we got gym lockers where people can hold some of their property." And like, "All right, yeah, sure, no, it's your property, go and grab it." And my boss even comes downstairs and he asks where the guy's at. And he say he's over in the locker room. So my boss goes and checks in on him. And then like a moment later, my boss starts screaming, "Watch out." And the guy comes out of the locker room. He's got 2 swords in his hands. We didn't have no metal detectors or anything. We don't search their property. And the guy comes running right at me, screaming, "You fucking white devil." And, I run. I run for my life, literally. And, he catches me in the stairway and knocks me down, and I'm lying on the stairs, and I start trying to fight him off. I'm kicking at him, and he just starts swinging the swords, and he's chopping up my legs real bad. And I'm still holding them up even as they're falling apart. But my coworkers, I see them behind this guy, and they're just screaming. And the guy, he just keeps going at it. And after I start to black out or something, and later on, they tell me that he ended up leaving, and nobody knows where he went. And I'm blacked out at this time, but I end up waking up again when he's back, and he's standing over me, and he's, people are screaming again. But one of my coworkers, she's sitting next to me because they were trying to like get me to stay conscious and everything. And, but the guy, he's telling her like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And, I can tell, he's reaching up like he's going to start swinging again. I start holding up my arms, and he just starts chopping away again. And my arms start to basically fall apart. And, but, I'm trying to protect my head. I'm trying to protect my chest and everything. And I don't know why, but eventually he stops. And, my coworkers were there right beside me as he's doing this. And, he ends up leaving. I don't know why I'm alive to this day. I've been in the hospital for 3.5 weeks now. I can't really move my arms or my legs. I can move my left one a little bit, but not my hands. And I got pins holding my bones together. And I've lost all independence, man. I'm just lying here in bed 24/7. I need help washing up. I need help eating. I need help taking a shit. Everything. And, I'm lucky to have my family, my friends, even my coworkers by my side. Everybody's helping me out. But I'm tired. Tired of this. Thankfully, it's just temporary. I've had a lot of surgeries, and that's why I'm able to move my left arm again. I can move my left leg a little bit. And hopefully in time, they say I'll be able to walk again. I should be able to move around, but, who knows if I'll ever be 100%, but that's what's been going on.